A year on since that fateful day when the KZN-born rugby player breathed his last at the hands of police, and an encounter preceding that continues to leave more questions than answers. And while the criminal probe has been put to rest by Honolulu prosecuting authorities, the civil case continues, albeit at a snail's pace.
One of the hardest things to accept is how slowly justice is delivered. We've seen in other parts of the U.S. it moves a lot quicker. What's happening with us is that we don't have a trial date until September of 2023. So we're still a year and a half away from a trial. And that's very frustrating for us and for the family, more importantly than for us. It's just really unacceptable. Now, in defense of our system, it is because of the COVID pandemic that these court delays resulted. We weren't trying any cases at all for about 2 years, and we've just now started trying them again.
The Honolulu Police Commission last week deciding to approve taxpayer funds to cover the legal bills of the 2 HPD officers involved in Myeni's killing, with a wrongful death suit arguing the officers were motivated by race.
I still believe that, and I haven't seen any reason not to. I believe that it's a subtle form of racial discrimination. I don't feel it's like, oh, here's a black man, let's shoot him. It's much more like, here's a black man, we don't need to give him the dignity of announcing ourselves. In other words, we can treat him in a lesser way than we might treat someone else. If it was someone else, they might have said, sir, freeze, we're police.
Yeah.
But because they see a black man, they say, get on the ground without further ado.
Bickerton also explained what success would look like at the conclusion of their civil litigation.
A civil lawsuit can't result in anyone going to prison, but it can do 2 things. The first thing, and I think probably the most important from the family's perspective, is to shine the light of truth on the situation and bring forward all the evidence and show who's being truthful and candid and honest about things and who's not, and in that process have some accountability. The second thing it does, and it's really very important, although it's a little more mundane, is that it is designed to seek compensation. And you know, the way that we look at it is Lindsay and her family and Lindani, they've already paid. So compensation is to try to put them back a little bit of what was taken.
He confirms that Lindsay Myeni and the children are still in South Africa and have been since Lindani's funeral in May last year.
I think they're doing okay. I don't want to say great because I don't think that it can be great after something like this.
No.
But I think that they are making a good life for themselves. They're finding happiness in South Africa, and Lindsay likes that she is in Lindani's home and that his children are in their home.
Bickerton also indicating that while the civil trial is scheduled only for next year, an out-of-court settlement between the parties cannot be ruled out in the months ahead. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.